it's Livy Loves, and we are playing Dragon Age Origins again. I'm excited to just dive back into it. I don't have any announcements or anything, so we're just gonna hit the ground running and go talk to Cook.
There he is, as brazen as you please, licking his chops after helping himself to the roast, no doubt.
Actually, ma'am, he was defending your larder from rats. The really freaking big ones. That had died very easily, actually.
What? Rats? Not the large grey ones?
They'll rip you to shreds, they will!
They're just rats!
See, now you've gone and scared the servants. I expect those filthy things are dead.
My faithful warhound made sure it's safe. Because, you know, she loves her dog, like, a lot.
Oh, I bet that dog led those rats into there to begin with. Oh, don't even start with the sad eyes. I'm immune to your so-called charms. Here then, take these pork bits and don't say that Nan never gives you anything. Bloody dog. Thank you, my lady. Now we can get to work. That's right, you two. Quit standing about.
Oh, so the story behind Dublin, you get a warhound. You get a Mabari warhound. In my version, she got Dublin when he was a puppy from what's the place called? From Redcliffe, which we'll see later in the game. But she got Dublin as a puppy and had to train him herself because her father said that Dublin was her responsibility. It was her Mabari. It's her war partner. So she had to train him. She had to feed him. She had to bathe him. She had to make sure that he got everything that he needed. So their bond with each other is very, very strong. So she's more than usual, like, she'll more likely pick Dublin's side when it comes to conversations about him. So that's why earlier she defended Dublin and told Nan that she needed to lock her larder tighter, even though Nan changed her diapers when she was a baby.
Thank you again for your help. Now, if you'll just hold on a moment. Yes?
Oh, wait. So, do you know who...
Adney, get moving with those casts. And Kath, do you think you can serve that to the turn with dirt from the floor all over it?
Miserable old bat.
Old bat, am I? We've got to work double time on supper, sweep out the hearths, and no complaining.
Busy day?
Just keeping order. That's why your father keeps me on. The good maker knows I needn't take care of you anymore. Thank you for coming to your old nanny's rescue. That blasted hound is more trouble than he's worth. He is.
No, he's not. He's a good dog.
Don't start with me. You've gotten all you're getting today. But what about you, my lady? Been keeping safe and well behaved, I hope?
Why would I say anything but yes?
Huh. Clever whelp. That mouth of yours will get you into trouble one day. Do you remember that bedtime tale I used to tell you? The dog that bit?
I remember it.
Good. Then you can start.
Wait. No, I didn't want to tell. But I have to go to... Well, you know, she did change Lyanna's diapers as a baby and everything, so I guess I can indulge her with a story before I go give the message to Fergus. So, once upon a time there was a dog and he bit somebody. It's a smelly cook. No. I don't remember how it goes. Well, she just said she remembers how it goes, so. before our fathers' fathers came down from the mountains.
A warhound was born to the elder bitch of a tribal chief. They named him Hahaku and gave him everything. He grew up a fine, strong pup, destined to be the partner of the chief's eldest son.
No time for this. And Hahaku grew prideful.
The young hound became arrogant, taking food from his kin and warning them, in the way of dogs, that the chief's family would punish them if they tried to attack him. Years passed, and the time for the chief's son to take a warhound came closer. Hahaku's pride swelled, and many of the people of the tribe came to the chief, quietly whispering of this dog's bullying. With each complaint, the chief saw only Hahaku's strength and pride, and sent his people away. But as his son grew, the chief watched more closely. The day might come when his boy's life would depend on this dog. If the humblest of his people would not trust Hahaku, how could he?
Strong or not, he chose a more reliable dog.
When the day came, Hahaku sat proudly waiting to be called, but the old chief chose Hahaku's brother as his son's hound. Hahaku was shamed, but felt no remorse. So great was his rage that he darted across the fire pit and bit the chief's hand.
He should have waited until he was alone. Oh my god. That was a mistake. A bold move. No, it wasn't a bold move. It was a stupid move. Dog bites someone today, it gets put down, even if it's defending its own territory. So, that was a mistake.
The chief and his son struck at Hahaku, cursing him. The hound ran into the village, seeking shelter in the tents and kennels. The other dogs snapped at him, and the tribe's people threw stones at him. Before the chief could reach him, the tribe had torn Hahaku apart. Now, what should you carry from this tale?
Like, ripped him limb from limb? That's awful. I mean, the reason the dog was so prideful in the first place is because the chief wasn't teaching him. The weak pull the strong down when they can. No one is above justice. Respect all equally. All nurses tell boring stories. How you treat the least will be remembered by the greatest.
True. Hahaku thought nothing of abusing the tribe and their dogs, but their complaints showed the chief he could not be trusted. But you're far too old now for an old woman to be reminding you to watch how you behave,
Thank you for the story. It was thoughtful of you.
It's a story worth repeating. That's all. Be off with you then. Tell your brother farewell before he rides off to war.
Okay. So, now that I have Dublin, I'm going to go through all of the rooms that I've already been through. It's a kitty. Oh god. What's his name? Oh no! I'm a horrible Lord of the Rings fan! What's his name? Gandalf! We're gonna pretend that didn't happen. We're never gonna speak of this again. It's a kitty Gandalf with the "You shall not pass," but I'm gonna pass. Come here, Dublin. Do you smell anything? Nothing? Okay. Oh, well, hell. I didn't check the kitchen. Good kitty. You guard that door. So, yeah. I have like a whole, I have a whole background. Oh, he found something. Dublin seems to have found a piece of wood carved with curious symbols. Dirt still clings to it, and it looks very old. You don't really know what it is, but it looks like it could be used as some kind of weapon. A piece of wood. What? Oh, okay, it's a mage's staff. 1 constitution, 10% nature resistance, +3 spell power. Okay. So yeah, I have a whole I'm working on, and I've posted some of it up on fan fiction, but I'm going to have to go through and and add some previous chapters because I came up with a backstory for the story. But what? That's not inconspicuous. You did it right in front of me. But Dublin has brought you an item. Deep mushroom. Cool. I didn't know he could find stuff like that. But I've been writing a story and posting it up on fan fiction. And I have like a whole backstory for Lyanna and a whole bunch of stuff. Dublin runs up to you and deposits a slightly damaged cake into your awaiting hands. Cake! Excellent! Good boy! Oh, he bounces around, barking happily. And, yep, gifts. I'm going to go straight into my inventory. To my other. And I'm going to give this to Dublin because no one else takes that cake. And I don't blame them because it said it was a soggy cake. Obviously, he carried it in his mouth. So, throughout this game, you'll find gifts that you can give to your companions, and it, let me see if it shows up for Dublin, because I don't think he can dislike you. Okay, so there's this, yeah, Dublin can't dislike you. He's at 100%. But for every companion you get, you'll have this bar down here. And some of them are tricky. As you do things throughout the game, when you have your companions with you, they will either like what you have done, dislike what you've done, greatly like what you've done, or greatly dislike what you've done. And this bar will move up and down. And if you want to improve the relationship, you get gifts. And you can give them to people. And certain people like certain gifts. And, not gifts. Gifts. I can't tell.
Good evening, my lady.
See, to me it sounds right. But with my southern accent, some of y'all might not be able to understand what I'm saying. And I really apologize. For me, I've said the words so often that, I hear them the way they're supposed to be heard. So I'm trying to speak as clearly and not enunciate and everything like that. Oh, he didn't find anything, but that's okay. He's found a lot of stuff so far. Anyway, the fan fiction. I am in the process of writing a story about Lyanna and her experiences through this game. Oh. Dublin seems to have found a slightly dirty pair of silk pantaloons. Ah! One can never have too many pairs of pantaloons. He bounces around barking happily. Happy puppy. Found dirty pantaloons. Is that a gift or is that armor? I think that's armor. Is it? What? Where did it go? Dirty pair of pantaloons. This is a gift? You can give this to someone? Who will take this? These pantaloons, crusted with soil, were probably buried for years before the Mabari dug them up. On closer inspection, it appears that they were once either gold or silver in color. Dang, how dirty are they? Gifts can be sold to a merchant or given to certain... Oh, here it goes. Gifts can be sold to a merchant or given to certain party members to influence their approval rating. I'll probably sell this because I don't know who would take it. But yeah, so I've written like in detail, and it's going to actually be different than how this game plays out, because you don't get, again, not inconspicuous right in front of me. You don't, there's a certain choice that you don't get to make in this game that I think you should be able to make. And I'm not going to go into it right now. I will discuss it later. But I will go ahead and say I made that choice in the story I'm writing. Pants happily. Do you see anything interesting? Nothing. Alright. That's okay. Oh my. Now, okay, so let me go ahead and say, this is the treasury. You might have already seen this in the last video. I don't remember. I'm actually re-recording this part because, so I did have an announcement that I should have made at the beginning of the game. I'm re-recording this part because, once again, my Elgato didn't record my commentary. I don't know why. I went back and checked to make sure I clicked the commentary button, and it's clicked. So I don't understand what's going on. It's like sometimes it records it, sometimes it doesn't record it. Just like sometimes it records the game audio, and sometimes it doesn't record it. I don't understand. Now, the only thing that is different is I make sure to do a test every time I record a video. And last time when I recorded, I did the test, and
Let's get started.
I did the test, and I didn't end it. And I opened up the game and started playing. So I did like the tab thing where you switch it. So maybe that interfered with it. I didn't do that this time, so we're gonna see. I'm hoping that this commentary recorded, because if it didn't, I'm gonna be really upset, because this is why I started recording this game last year, and it kept doing this to me last year, and I got so frustrated that I stopped and I deleted everything that I had recorded. So I'm hoping it doesn't do it this year. Sorry, my phone went off. I had to check and see what that was about. So anyway, that's
Oh, my lady, we were just
if this was in the last video, I apologize. I didn't my second video didn't record, and I had to go back a save and replay some stuff, and I may have skipped going over this. So really strict on doing your duties the way you're supposed to, so ignoring your duties.
well, the treasury's safe. I'm not even sure why the town stationed us here.
Do you always question your duties?
No, my lady, of course not.
I would say she is fair, though. So, but not fair enough to tell them to go to keep playing cards, because they're really not paying attention to what they're supposed to be doing. So I'll forget about it this time.
Yes, my lady. Thank you. We won't forget this.
Alright, no, oh, no. Dublin. See anything interesting? Oh, Dublin comes running up to you with a tangled ball of woolen yarn. The end is trailing in the dust behind him. Is it dirty? Because if it's not dirty, I know who I can give this to later. A tangled ball of gray-brown woolen yarn. It's still slimy from having been in the Mabari's mouth. We'll see how it goes. Because I know who I can give that to, but it's like dirty and gross, so I don't. And again, I can't go in this room. You have to have a key. That's the treasury. I don't understand why I can't go in it, though. That's one thing. I don't understand why I can't go in that room.
On it.
That's the library.
Good evening,
I'm not
milady.
going to go in there just yet. Did I take Dublin everywhere I've been? See anything interesting? Nothing? That's okay. See, I can't decide whether I want to click on the options or just click the buttons.
Good evening, milady.
Good evening. Okay, cool. I think I did everything. I searched every room with Dublin. So now we'll go up here and talk to Mother.
And my dear Bryce bought this back from Orlais last year. The Marquis who gave it to him was drunk, I understand, and mistook Bryce for the king. Ah, here is my lovely daughter. I take it by the presence of that troublesome hound of yours that the situation in the kitchen is handled?
By the way, really drunk? Because you saw Lyanna Cousland at the beginning of the game, and King Kaelin is like 25 with long blonde hair. Very, very much looks like he's 25. So that Marquis was very drunk. Snarky remark, of course. Nan's head exploded and my hound ate the kitchen staff.
Well, at least one of us will have had a decent dinner. Perhaps your hound left something I can feed my guests. Darling, you remember Lady Landra, Ban Lawrence's wife?
I think we last met at your mother's spring salon.
Of course, it's good to see you again, my lady.
You're too kind, dear girl. Didn't I spend half the salon trying to convince you to marry my son?
And made a very poor case for it, I might add.
You remember my son, Dyron. He's not married yet either.
Don't listen to her. It's good to see you again, milady. You're looking as beautiful as ever.
In reference to everyone, it seems, trying to hook her up and get her married. I know people got married young back in this time. But I think she's like 18 to 20. And she has no interest in getting married at all. The occasional partner for a night or something. I think she's more leans more that way. But not marriage, not having children yet, because she wants to be a fighter. She wants to fight in the army, or lead the army, I guess she would do, since she's the Tyrann's daughter. But he was very nice and gentlemanly. He's also not bad looking. So maybe she wants to have a little bit of fun with him at some time. So she's going to respond very nicely with, "You're looking handsome yourself."
And this is my lady in waiting, Iona. Do say something, dear.
It is a great pleasure, my lady. You are as pretty as your mother describes.
You would think that it would make it easier to make a match for her, not more difficult.
Perhaps your daughter simply has a mind of her own, your ladyship. You should be proud.
Proud doesn't get me any more grandchildren.
You are aware that we're at war, right? Marriage isn't the thing to be talking about right now. Grandchildren isn't the thing to be talking about right now. We're at war. We need people to fight in this war.
Aware that my husband and son are about to ride off to battle and perhaps never return? Quite.
I think perhaps I shall rest now, my dear. Dyron, I will see you and Iona at supper.
Perhaps we'll retire to the study for now.
Good evening, your ladyship.
Let's talk
You
to
should say
Mother.
goodbye to Fergus while you have the chance.
So here's the perfect opportunity. Why can't I go with Father and Fergus?
I know it's difficult to stay in the castle and watch others ride off, but we must see to our duties first. You understand that, don't you?
But what if they fall without me? What if me being there is the thing that's going to prevent them being cut down in battle?
It's in the Maker's hands now, and we must cope as best we can.
Well, no, you could still decide for me to go, but it looks like I have a bad feeling about all of this. Like, Lyanna really feels that she should go to protect her father and her brother.
As do I. Your father and brother are marching off to fight Maker knows what. All the assurances in the world don't comfort me, but it wouldn't help for us to take up arms and follow. Fergus and your father have their duty, and we have ours.
Are you staying at the castle?
For a few days. Then I'll travel with Lady Landra to her estate, and keep her company for a time. Your father thinks my presence here might undermine your authority.
Well, actually, it would probably be better to have you here, because like I said, she's between 18 and 20, and I'm sure she's had some experience with running things, but you gonna leave her alone for a month or two? And it could be longer than that. Things could be looking good with the war now, but they could go worse. So I really don't think that she should go. I think she should stay here in case her daughter needs assistance.
Don't worry, my dear. It won't be long.
But I guess she's not gonna stay no matter what I say. So, did you know there's a Grey Warden?
Yes, your father
here?
mentioned that. You haven't got it into your head that you want to be recruited.
Again, though, yes, she understands the Darkspawn have returned and that Grey Wardens are needed to fight the Darkspawn. She thinks very highly of them. She knows that they're important. She knows also that they have to leave family ties behind. And she loves her family too much to leave them. So, definitely not. She doesn't want to be a Grey Warden.
Keep it that way. You've enough to do here at the castle without chasing Darkspawn.
So, I should go.
I love you, my darling girl. You know that, don't you?
I love you too.
Go do what you must, then. I will see you soon.
I'm gonna tell y'all a little secret. I'm hoping third time's the charm with this, cause I've done this 3 times already. I don't know why. I don't know what's happening. For some reason, my commentary will just decide not to record. I don't understand what's happening. I haven't changed anything. At first, I thought maybe it was because and now I say I don't even remember what I've done now. At first I thought it was maybe because I took so long to record, but that doesn't make any sense because with the Sims videos, I have recorded anywhere from an hour and a half up to 3 hours, and my commentary has been just fine. And then I thought maybe it's because when it's exporting from my Elgato and making a video, I changed the title because I noticed that the title was still reading Dragon Age Origins modded part 1, and I'm on part 2, so I changed it to part 2. I checked that. That's not it. And I'm also, again, saying I've recorded The Sims for up to 3 hours. Like my Sim self-creation, where I created myself and Woody. I spent 2.5 hours on that video. And yes, I fast-forwarded it. I sped the video up. The commentary was just fine. Because I did watch it while I was editing it. because there were some parts where I had to walk away from the computer and check on the kids and yada yada. And the commentary was fine. So I don't know.
Hello, my dear girl.
But
By chance, I am beginning to teach these young squires about your family's history.
Do we have to? History is boring.
Boys, you are referring to the Couslands, the very family in whose castle you live. Show some respect.
But I'll work through it. Like I said, hopefully third time's going to be the charm. Show respect. So, with the kind of person that Lyanna is, I'm definitely going to say that she learned this stuff. She learned about her family's history, but she much more would have preferred to been out training and learning how to fight. So, it's alright. It is boring. I understand.
I see you haven't changed. Perhaps it would benefit you to join our lesson.
And to show Aldous that she has been paying attention, certainly, I'd be happy to.
Wonderful. Oh, the Cousland history is long indeed. Where shall we start?
We predate the founding of the kingdom, yes?
Well, I'm glad some of my lessons don't disappear into that yawning chasm between your ears, young lady.
With Lyanna being as snarky as she is, your lecturing does lead to a lot of yawning.
A pity you don't spend the same care whetting the edge of your mind as your tongue. At any rate, your family has held the tournure of Highever since before King Calenhad united Ferelden. In fact, Tierna Elethea Cousland battled Calenhad to maintain Highever's independence.
I suppose we lost.
When Calenhad's army reached Highever, Tierna Elethea led the local bands against him. Obviously, Calenhad won.
And Calenhad let us keep the Tierner?
Calenhad wished to unite Ferelden, not conquer it. After Elethea's men were defeated, Calenhad asked her to swear fealty. The boulder where they held council still stands today as a memorial of that event.
When was our line founded?
Records are vague, but the Couslands became Tierns during the Black Age. Is that familiar, child?
Actually, it is. It was during the lycanthrope plagues, if I remember correctly.
Good. I'm pleased some of my lessons seem to have stuck. At that time, your family held only the minor title of Ban. When the werewolves reached this area, Ban Mather Cousland organized a curfew and patrols within the city. Several other local bands supported his efforts by swearing oaths of fealty, making him their Tiern.
Tell about our relationship with Arl Howe for the audience, because I realized that I didn't really talk to Arl Howe much about how her father and him were friends and everything.
The history between the Couslands and the Howes reaches back to the Orlesian occupation.
When did Orlais occupy Highever?
During your grandfather's rule. Of course, Orlais found it difficult to hold these lands. During the rebellion against Orlais, several battles were fought near Highever. The port village of Harper's Ford was the tourneur's center. Its Arl was Tarleton Howe. Though nearly 90, he was still as sharp and bitter as cheap ale. Your grandfather openly supported the rebellion, but Howe sided with Orlais. Your family was forced to seize Harper's Ford before it was all over.
Yes, very unfortunate, but we couldn't lose Harper's Ford.
Correct. That caused a rift between the two families, as you might imagine. The Howes eventually joined the rebellion, when all of Ferelden united behind King Merrick and General Logain. Just as now we united behind Merrick's son, King Cailan, to fight the Darkspawn.
Okay, I think it's time to end the lesson. I do have to get to Fergus and everything.
Thank you for indulging an old man.
Does that mean we have to listen to you now?
Silence! I will not have you two becoming smart-mouthed hooligans. Perhaps you should go. I doubt they need any more distraction. I'm just going to settle in here and apparently just talk to myself for all the good I'm doing. Damn myself all this while you talk this.
Okay, and I know for sure that... Well, apparently I don't. Yeah,
This should be easy enough.
Oh, third time doing it, and I still didn't remember exactly where that codex is. So we're gonna go in here and talk to Iona first.
That is a wonderful dog. He seems very noble and intelligent.
Pretty dope.
Greetings once again, my lady.
I haven't seen many elven ladies in waiting.
Lady Landra has been very good to me. I am lucky. If I may, I see that you have no ladies in waiting. Is this usual for a noblewoman of your rank?
Lyanna, for one, is the type of person that would not want a servant walking around with her all day. She would get very tired of that. She wants to do things on her own. But not only that, it seems like Highever is very different from all of the other kingdoms in Ferelden. In the other kingdoms, elves and dwarves aren't really looked highly upon. They are lower class. They some kingdoms even have a place called an alienage where the elves are forced to live because they're looked as less than peasants is what it seems. And Highever isn't like that. Highever doesn't even have an alienage as far as I know. The elves live with the people in Highever. So, though Lyanna is very, very strongly against having a servant that would follow her around all day, I really don't think that any of the people have ladies in waiting in Highever. That's just me. That's the way I like to imagine it. So, she would respond with, I don't like others serving me.
That is not a sentiment I see amongst other noble women.
How did you come to know Lady Landra?
My family has been in service to hers for many years. Lady Landra elevated my place as a reward for our loyalty. I hope this position might pass to my daughter.
Sounds like Lady Landra has been good to you.
Lady Landra is good to her elven servants. That is not true in many households, but I hear it is in yours. It speaks well of your father to show such compassion.
Tell me more about yourself.
I am an open book, my lady. What would you like to know?
Where were you born?
Lady Landra's manor is not half so large as your castle, so my family lives in the alienage.
Again. Do you enjoy living there? Probably
there, we
not.
do not stand out quite so much. In an alienage, my daughter learns what it means to be elven, as much as possible. So much of our history has been lost.
So, what do you think of humans?
That is an awkward question. What do you mean?
Do you find them very different from your own people?
Sometimes. But to be honest, we elves have lost much of our history. Few speak our language anymore, and many do not know what being elven means. We live amongst you, worship as you do, sing the same songs, eat the same foods. I am a Ferelden woman, yet my race will always set me apart.
I'd like to ask you about something else.
Of course.
Oh, apparently no, I wouldn't, so good evening.
Farewell, my lady. Good luck on managing this castle in the coming months. I imagine it shall be very difficult.
As you wish.
Do you... Anything interesting? Nothing. You know what? Let me go back out into here and see. Anything interesting in here? Oh, a tattered book. Some of the pages have been chewed. Very chewed and moist. Ew. Dang. How much slobber do you have in the mouth? Any more?
Hello again. Your castle study is wonderful. Might I ask whose collection this is?
It was my grandfather's, but I come here often to read.
So would I. Do you have a favorite book?
Okay. As I've said before, Lyanna is anywhere between 18 to 20. I'm going to say she's 20, just to end the between part. She's 20 years old. She's young. She's mischievous. She's not looking to be tied down, though might enjoy the company of a man every now and then. So, for you guys, Lyanna's favorite book would be The Dragons of Tevinter by Brother Timaeus, because she loves interesting stuff like that. But Dyron is quite attractive, and to be flirtatious with him, she's going to say that her favorite book is The Art of Passionate Love by Brother Capri.
Oh, that was banned by the Chantry, wasn't it? Quite provocative, I understand. I've, never read it myself.
Just to be flirtatious with him and everything and see where things might go. I can tell you about it if you want me to.
Oh, that's not necessary. Perhaps another time.
Since she does want to see how he's feeling about her and everything, because he did pay her a very nice compliment earlier and tell her that she was looking very beautiful. She's gonna continue on the conversation with, I'd like to get to know you a little better.
I'd like that. What did you have in mind?
Well, why don't we go somewhere more private to get to know each other? Okay.
Gladly. But your mother is expecting me for dinner
gladly.
shortly, as is mine. Perhaps another time?
Well, I mean, how much time do you really need? It's called a quickie for a reason. We're not gonna go there though. So, well, why don't you come to my room later tonight after everyone's in bed and we can get to know each other there?
I suppose I could see you after everyone is asleep for something of a more intimate nature, if that is what you mean.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean.
I look forward to it. I shall see you then.
Okay. Let's go and talk to Fergus. I've done everything. I've looked through every room. I've talked. Did I? Time to go talk to Fergus. Gonna look in here first. Any chests? No chests. Going to ask Dublin. An item! He found an item! Greenstone. Cool. That I'll just sell that later. I still really want to know. Yeah, I really want to know why I don't have the keys to places in my castle. So wait, did I need a key for that? Okay.
Right.
I mean, it didn't tell me I need a key like everywhere else. Okay, so this is my room. That's my brother's room. And this is parents' room. You can't go in there. Talk to brother.
Is there really going to be a war, Papa? Will you bring me back a sword?
That sword, Oren. And I'll get you the mightiest one I can find, I promise. I'll be back before you know it.
I wish victory was indeed so certain. My heart is disquiet.
Don't frighten the boy, love. I speak the truth. And here's my little sister to see me off. Now dry your eyes, love, and wish me well.
So I see the relationship that she has with her older brother as a relationship where they picked at each other a lot. Lovingly, but they picked at each other a lot. And with her being more of this free spirit and everything and not wanting to be married, and her brother isn't, like, he doesn't look that much older than her. Where she's 20, I'd say he's 25. And he's already married and has what looks to be he said sword instead of sword. So I would say 6-year-old, 7-year-old kid. So with all the intimacy and everything, she would definitely tease him by saying, "You two are nauseating me so much." Ugh.
When there's a man in your life, you'll understand.
Also, I just want to say, no fewer than 3, if you please. I clicked that once during these recordings, thinking that they would take it as a joke. They most definitely did not take it as a joke. So I'm not clicking that one this time. Or Oriana started talking about that would be disgraceful for the family. So keep it quiet. Don't let anyone find out. And he even said he doesn't know how to take that. Like, in responding to Oriana saying that, he looked at her and he said, I don't know how to take that information coming from my wife. So we're not going to click that. She's just going to say, I prefer my freedom, thank you.
One day you'll meet someone who can handle you. Mark my words.
Nah, no one's ever going to be able to handle her. Lyanna's way too free-spirited. Do you really think the war will be over quickly?
Word from the south is that the battles have gone well. There's no evidence that this is a true blight, just a large raid.
Could that be true?
I'll see for myself soon enough. Pray for me, love, and I'll be back within a month or 2.
Did you know there's a Grey Warden in the castle?
Really? Was he riding a griffin?
Shh, Oren. Griffins only exist in stories now.
I'd heard that. Did he say why he's come?
He is going to test Sir Gilmore, from what I heard.
Good for him. I hope he makes it. If I were a Grey Warden, though, I'd have my eye on you. Not that Father would ever allow it.
Yeah, no, he was pretty not wanting it, but again, Lyanna didn't want it either. I wish I could go with you into battle.
I wish you could come. It'll be tiring killing all those darkspawn myself.
In Antiva, a woman fighting in battle would be unthinkable.
Is that so? I always heard Antivan women were quite dangerous.
With kindness and poison only, my husband.
This from the woman who serves me my tea.
You will be missed, brother.
If it's any consolation, I'm sure I'll freeze in the southern rain and be completely jealous of you up here, warm and safe.
I am positively thrilled that you will be so miserable, husband.
So, okay, last thing I can say, and I can't skip out. I bring a message. Father wants you to leave without him, because Allhal's men have been delayed.
Then the Arl's men are delayed. You'd think his men were all walking backwards. Well, I'd better get underway. So many Darkspawn to behead, so little time. Off we go then. I'll see you soon, my love.
I would hope, dear boy, that you plan to wait for us before taking your leave.
Be well, my son. I will pray for your safety every day you are gone.
Okay, so I understand that they wanted to give me something to do for a while. But could they not have given me just some smaller missions to do around the castle and say to meet them in Fergus's room later? Why did they have me bring a message to Fergus? And Father is legit gonna walk in right after I did. Doesn't make any sense. But that's how they did it, so that's that. Be well, my son. So to the be well, my son, I'll pray for your safety every day you are gone. Lyanna, yes, is very spiritual. She believes in the Maker and she believes in prayer. But she's also very realistic as well. She doesn't just believe like that Jesus take the wheel thing. He'll or Maker take the reins. Ha ha ha. And I know you'll guide me in the right direction. They're going into battle. Prayers are only going to do so much. So she would respond to that, not trying to be a smart aleck or anything, but just being sensible. She would respond with a good shield would be more useful because they are going into battle. If you went into battle with just prayers from everyone surrounding you, chances are you'd be the first one struck down. So a good shield would be more useful.
The Maker sustain and preserve us all. Watch over our sons, husbands and fathers, and bring them safely back to us.
And bring us some ale and wenches while you're at it. For the men, of course.
Fergus, you would say this in front of your mother?
What's a wench? Is that what you pull on to get the bucket out of the well?
A wench is a woman that pours the ale in a tavern, Oren. Or a woman who drinks a lot of ale.
Bryce, Maker's breath. It's like living with a pair of small boys. Thankfully, I have a daughter.
I'll miss you, mother dear. You'll take care of her, sister, won't you?
I think it's funny that she's thankful to have a daughter, but the daughter is probably worse than the son when it comes to maturity and responsibility and everything. Not to say that she's not responsible. Lyanna is responsible. She's just more warrior, not bride, and you wouldn't catch her sitting in the study doing embroidery on a dress. She'd be out in the training yard getting dirty. You'll take care of her, sister, won't you? Mother can handle herself, always has.
It's true. They should be sending her, not me. She would scold those Darkspawn back into the deep roads.
Well, I'm glad you find this so funny.
Enough, enough. Pup, you'll want to get an early night. You've much to do tomorrow.
Ooh, a level up. So I'm going to level up, and I'm going to stop for this video. It is quite long, and it is also, I think I've beat the system. I'm recording in smaller parts, and I'm just gonna throw each clip into Movie Maker, and it'll be all meshed together for y'all when I upload it on YouTube. So I think I've figured that out. I might also try, Woody brought up a good, there we go. Woody brought up a good suggestion about trying to record my audio separately from the Elgato, and then when it goes into Movie Maker, you'd probably end up putting the audio, my commentary, in as like a separate file or something. I'm pretty sure that's how that would work. So I'll look into that and everything. I know this episode wasn't that exciting. Did I fight the rats in this episode? I don't even remember if I fought the rats in this episode. I think this episode might have just been me running around talking to people and finding codexes and stuff, but I hope it was interesting. I tried to keep it interesting, even though I was having to re-record it so many times, and I apologize if it wasn't that interesting. The first time I recorded it, the first time I did the recording, it was more interesting, but going through the same dialogue, and I tried to switch it up too, but I've been through all the options because I've had to re-record it so many times. But I mean, I cycled through all of my options, so I was having to choose some again. It's kind of hard to, and that's my problem. That's not your fault. I need to be entertaining for y'all. Y'all are watching this video. But it got kind of hard to make things interesting and exciting. So, we're hopefully getting into the meat of the background. I don't know what you would call this. I guess you would call this the opening story. But we're gonna get more into the meat of it next episode. More things will be happening. I am gonna shut down now because I don't want this to get too long and my audio be cut out of it again, and I have to do it again. So I hope you enjoyed. I'm sorry if it wasn't a big thriller, but I had fun. I hope y'all had fun. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, hit the bell for notifications for when I upload the next video. Leave me some comments, guys. Ask me some questions about myself. I'll answer them. Let me know some games that you might like to see me play. I will definitely try. I can't just go out tomorrow and buy excuse me. I can't just go out tomorrow and buy a PS4 and buy a whole bunch of games for it. I am limited on what I have. I have an Xbox One. I have PC. I sometimes have a 360. It depends on when it wants to work. It's pretty old. I don't want to say it's crapping out on me because it's pretty old. We've had it for a long time. But that's it for me. Tell me about yourselves in the comments, maybe. Let's get some conversations going. I want to talk to y'all. I want to learn about y'all. I want y'all to learn about me. And it'll give me topics to talk about in the next video when I'm running around and stuff. So, because I can forget to, as much as I talk, I can forget to talk when there's dead air. Because I'm weird and everything. But I will see you in the next video. I hope you'll have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!